Hi there, and welcome back to rLounge. Most people keep secrets about themselves away from the light of day. Much of their awareness of self is kept inside so as to not reveal their innermost workings. It's a sort of defense mechanism against exposure to unfriendly judgment. But if you know what to look for, you can begin to identify what it is people are trying to hide. Oftentimes, their sense of self comes out in the form of aggression towards others. If you watch and listen closely, you can see people revealing their own shortcomings by trying to lob accusations at you. A Karen tries to frame a cleaning girl for theft. This isn't my story, but that of my girlfriend, but obviously I have permission. She really wanted to share this story and asked me if I'd be willing to write it up. No problem, especially because I think it's a fun story. Business trip. My girlfriend, GF, was asked to attend a 3 to 4 day business trip to Berlin in Germany in order to help set up a deal with a potential customer for work. She wasn't really looking forward to it because she barely speaks German, but was assured that English would be all she needed. They really wanted her there because she was pretty good in sales, but also had a good understanding of the technical side of things. Because there was a full day scheduled to get to the hotel, my girlfriend decided to go by train, ICE for the win. Sure, it takes 6 or so hours to get to Berlin from the Netherlands, but it's also more relaxed than flying, especially with the miserable state of Schiphol Airport right now. I was actually a bit jealous because Berlin is my favorite city to spend a vacation. Anyway, she arrives at Berlin Hauptbahnhof, ends up being just as impressed with the location as I was when I first visited and quickly finds a taxi to bring her to the hotel. She checks in without issues, texts me about it, and because she still has some time to spare, she decides to check out a small supermarket she noticed nearby to grab some candy. She enjoys having a small bowl of candy on the table so that she can grab some munchies if she wants. A Karen disturbs the peace. The next morning, she's up somewhat early and takes the company laptop with her to grab some breakfast and prepare herself for the upcoming meeting. It's a self-serve buffet, so she grabs some stuff, heads up to the checkout where she's met with a, quote, fat, obnoxious-looking woman who's yelling and shouting at the girl behind the checkout. I have always had pancakes for breakfast. Why can't you make me pancakes? What kind of shoddy hotel is this? The girl explains that this is a self-serving buffet, so they can't take custom orders, which is only met with more complaining. This goes on for a few minutes, and my girlfriend notices that there's a small line forming behind her, and just like her many other guests, seem to be getting really fed up with all this. Then a customer behind my girlfriend has had enough, and he yelled something in the likes of Scheiß, halte! Siehe ihre Klappe! Which roughly translates to, shit, why don't you shut up already? The woman looks at the line of customers, the man in particular, and yells, What's your problem? To which my girlfriend answers, he's right, you know. She told me that she had no clue what the guy had said, but had a good hunch. Why don't you pick some food that's available or go to another restaurant? We'd like to eat too, you know. The woman yells some more obscenities at the girl behind the counter, and when that has no effect, she yells, You're all a bunch of thieves, and storms off. Girlfriend told me that the girl behind the counter was visibly upset, so she asked her if she was okay and told her that she shouldn't let the crazies get to her. When she walked away to her table, my girlfriend heard the man behind her also saying some nice-sounding remarks to the girl, but because that was all in German, she has no idea what was said. It was a bit too much to take in at once because she texted me during her breakfast. I did learn about the Klappe remark. Just being nice. After breakfast, she goes back to her room to grab the rest of her stuff and call for a taxi when she notices the same girl from in the corridors pushing a cleaning cart. So once she got back to her room, she suddenly had an idea. Instead of putting the munchies in a bag or something, she left them in the bowl and placed a sign next to it on which she tried to write German, free unleaded snacks. Or something close. She remembers misusing Bleifrei for some reason. But she also added a message in English. Feel free to take. Thanks for cleaning up my room. After which, she went to the lobby and waited for the taxi to arrive. The day at the client went excellent. First, it turned out that the client didn't need to order as many devices as they thought, which was obviously good news for them. But then during lunch, my girlfriend learned that the client had issues with some other equipment, and as a coincidence would have it, those devices were also sold by the company my girlfriend worked for. Because my girlfriend didn't know all the details about those other machines, they set up another meeting for the next day where they'd talk about possibly selling them those other devices as well. Needless to say that my girlfriend was extremely excited when she left the client's company that afternoon. Because it was still somewhat early, around 1500, she decided to walk back to the hotel using the power of Google Maps. She downloaded some offline maps, so no need for roaming. During the walk, she called her work to discuss their best course of action. Her colleagues were going to send her all the technical specs of those other devices so that she could learn all there was to know about them before the meet. Once my girlfriend got back to her hotel room, she noticed an extra piece of paper saying, Vielen Dank next to hers. It seems the staff appreciated her gesture. Karen strikes again. It was during dinner when my girlfriend suddenly heard a commotion on the other side of the restaurant, and when she looked, sure enough, the Karen from before was once again making a scene for some reason. My girlfriend couldn't hear everything that was going on, but it once again ended with Karen shouting profanities and eventually storming off while shouting how the staff were all a bunch of thieves, and how she was going to leave tomorrow and how they now lost an important customer. The actual incident. The next morning during breakfast, my girlfriend gets a text message from the client. They had to postpone the meeting by 2 hours due to an incident which needed to be resolved first. Not a problem. After confirming the new time, my girlfriend decided to head back to her room after breakfast so that she could go over the specifications that company had sent her just one more time to be sure. On the way to her room, she came across the same girl as before who had just finished cleaning a room and was replacing some tissues. Girlfriend greets her and asks how she's doing, and after a quick bit of small talk, she heads back to her room. After having studied the documents again, my girlfriend wants to get some coffee, but when she gets out of her room, she notices the Karen from before further down the corridor doing something near the cleaning cart. This immediately alerts my girlfriend because she read at the hotel rules that guests are under no circumstances allowed to mess with those carts. So, she quickly grabs her phone and starts filming. After a few moments, the Karen seems to be grabbing something from below the cart, after which she quickly scurries back into her room. My girlfriend then quickly walks towards the cart and suddenly sees a necklace lying on the bottom section. The weird part is that some of the towels look as if they had been pushed off the cart, which seemed completely out of place. While quickly thinking this over, and still filming, my girlfriend suddenly hears a commotion in one of the rooms close by. It's the Karen yelling something about, "You're all a bunch of effing thieves!" Which is when my girlfriend decided that something wasn't right here, and she made a judgment call. She grabbed the necklace and put it into her pocket, while also clearly, but softly, narrating exactly who she was, what room number she was in, what she was doing, and most of all, why. "I think someone is being set up here, which is why I'm taking this necklace for now." Then she walked away from the cart towards the elevator, but kept filming. Sure enough, "You're a effing thief is what you are. I can prove it, you effing Nazi." And then, there comes Karen stomping off towards the cart. "Wait," she says, while knocking over pretty much everything that's on it, while screaming, "What the F is this? It was here a minute ago. Where is it?" Ping. The elevator arrives and my girlfriend quickly steps in, immediately presses the door close button several times, and makes her way towards the reception where she asks for a manager ASAP. One of the guests is harassing one of your staff members. I think she tries to frame her for theft too. I got it all on film. It is also at this point when she stops filming. A manager comes over, and after showing him the recording and giving him the necklace, he asks my girlfriend to follow him, and the both of them go back upstairs, during which the manager makes a call with a cell phone. The only thing my girlfriend could understand is Police, and she had a pretty good idea what that might be. Once outside the elevator, they were immediately met with the mating call of the wild Karen. The woman was practically screaming incoherently until she noticed the manager and my girlfriend walking over towards her. "Finally, a manager! I need to report a crime!" After which, she makes up a story of how the cleaning lady grabbed her necklace, ran out of the room, and then quickly handed it over to an accomplice. After Karen tried to stop the thief, he pushed her into the cart, which is why everything had fallen onto the floor. "This necklace, perhaps?" asked the manager while he shows the necklace to Karen, who is now suddenly looking extremely puzzled. "What? How? Where did you get that?" she asks. Meanwhile, the cleaning lady, the same girl as before, comes out of the room, and it looks as if she had been crying. Ping! Another elevator stops at the floor, and 3 more staff members come running over. As it turned out, the cleaning girl had called room service to ask her colleagues for help, while Karen was on her rampage outside. While everyone is directed to the manager's office, my girlfriend asks him how long this is going to take because she has an important meeting in roughly half an hour. The manager says that the recording should be more than enough, so after my girlfriend mailed it, she's excused, gets a taxi, and even makes it in time for the meeting. The aftermath. That was the last time my girlfriend saw the Karen in that hotel. In the evening, my girlfriend makes her way to the restaurant, orders a drink, and after a while, the manager from before walks over to hand her a menu. "May I suggest the house special? It's a 4-gang course meal." "Thanks, Hepcat," which I'm sure you'll appreciate. She looks at the menu, and after seeing what the manager was referring to, answers, "That's very nice of you, but I can't really afford that." The manager smiles to her. "It's on the house. We value guests who respect our staff." Maybe needless to say, but my girlfriend had a very pleasant evening that day. The food was amazing. She never learned what happened to the Karen, but as mentioned, also never saw her again. Good riddance if you ask me. And there you have it. Thanks for reading. We hope you enjoyed the story. Acquainted1 says, "You have a lovely girlfriend. Smart, savvy, name it. Keep her. Loves and hugs. Grandma Lindsay." The Quejos says, A friend of mine cleaned a motel to pay for her tuition. If you're accused of stealing, you are fired. Zero defense allowed. They just don't want the drama. So very unfair. Glad girlfriend was lucky in her timing. Oh my god. This Karen literally went out of her way to try to make this poor girl's life a living hell. I honestly think that certain individuals hate themselves and their lives so much that they need to crap on other people who can't defend themselves just to feel better in some way. But stories like these show us that being a bad person and trying to make people's lives miserable doesn't get you anywhere. It just makes you look like a giant a-hole. Thank goodness for compassionate people like your girlfriend. That poor girl didn't deserve any of that disgusting treatment. She's just trying to make a living. I hope hotel staff had gone into Karen's room and cleaned the toilet bowl with her toothbrush. Eat crap, Karen. Have you ever had a similar experience where you stuck up for someone in the service industry? Let us know below. Thank you for joining us today in rLounge. Before you go, be sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. If you have something you want to say regarding today's content, share that with us in the comments below. See you soon.